Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Eric.
Hello.
Eric, you tell the folk who you are, and tell them about your nice car here, and what happened, the whole story, briefly if you can.
I've been homeless for quite some time. My girlfriend and I were working for a company, making $40 a piece, doing side labor, and instead of staying at the mission, we were losing our things. People were being violent. People were constantly being stole from. Bed bugs, lice, and crabs, and many other things that go on inside of this place that are very disgusting. And we decided that we were going to stay outside. And while we were working, making $80, we decided to go stay at a motel. $65 a day, buy $10 worth of food, and then finally spending money on that kind of money on a motel, giving it back at 6 o'clock every morning, and going to work and doing the same thing repetitively every day. You're without your, you have nothing. You have nothing to show for your work. And so me and her decided that we were going to stay 10 days on the street and rough it so that instead of being paid daily, we would get paid at the end of the week. And 4 of those days we weren't working. We were without work because of the driver. And so we had to rough it for 10 days, or 11 days, and the 11th day is when we got our paycheck, and we bought ourselves a 2004 Alero Oldsmobile off of Craigslist, and we had a couple $100 left over, not much, and we bought 2 new tires, and it was something that was ours, so we don't have to give back. It's,
Right.
It's something that we worked hard for. The only problem now that we're having is our rotor, our brake.
Can you show me what you're talking about?
The rotor, my front driver rotor, has been eroded all around the top. When I bought it, the guy had no idea.
Yeah, see the groove there?
It screams really loud as it's being on a turn. My windshield has been pretty badly cracked.
Let's see if I can see it, but the phone here, maybe we can see it from the inside, huh? Yeah, cracked windshield. And then how about the brakes? How are the brakes? I imagine if the rotor's bad, the brakes are going. How's this rotor? It's not too bad, but there's a little ridge right here. So I imagine you would need to replace both rotors, get some brake pads. That way the life of the rotors and the brakes, is prolonged. And you're not just running one new rotor on one side with a bad rotor on the other side, and you're basically balancing out your situation here with the brakes and the.
The only other problem we're having is that when if a battery pops, you have all the insurance in the world, you have everything taken care of, and out of nowhere, all our things are in our vehicle, everything's in my trunk. If a tire pops and you don't have a spare tire, you lose everything. Regardless if you have insurance, you have a license, you have everything on it, it's good. If you get a popped tire, it's gone. You lose a
So you need a spare tire?
No, it's just my way of saying, it's just a scenario of saying that, for being homeless and having a responsibility of a vehicle, I mean, it's always a gamble. You never know, because you're only one stoplight away from being where I'm at, everything's kind of costly, and we've asked and offered to work for many people to try and do labor gigs and things where we couldn't find any source or any resources out there to help the homeless with their vehicles when they need it. There's a parts, because unfortunately other people who have had come out and given those miracles and gifts of helping with people's vehicles that were homeless, they couldn't afford it. We're taking advantage of it, and we're ruining those resources. I asked the sheriff yesterday, what should I do? I need help. What can I do? I don't want to lose my car and my things. Simple term was, fly a sign. I said I'd get laughed off the corner. I'm
Yeah.
too young to be standing on the corner asking you for money.
Right.
All I want to do is just make me a couple honest dollars so I can make.
So when I met you, you had a bad battery and your car was parked at a meter in danger of being towed. Can you briefly explain what happened there?
When we bought the car, we thought everything underneath the hood was fine. The battery, we were pulling over and gonna park it. We were waiting on a friend, hoping to run into an old friend of mine, and my battery just completely went out. It just died. I couldn't turn it over, couldn't get a click, and I was at a meter. I had to push it roughly 5 blocks just so from one meter to the next so that I didn't lose my vehicle, knowing that the city would impound it and take it, and I can't afford hundreds of dollars, let alone 50 to get it out of impound. So
Probably more than that.
I'd lose
Probably more than that.
quite a bit of money to get something like this out of impound. So I'd be pretty much saying goodbye to my first paycheck. You came along and well, we were here and I walked down to the mission and looking for a miracle. I did a prayer group actually 5 minutes before I had met you and was
You did a what?
I was with a prayer circle with a fine young gentleman in here by the name of Jimmy. He gave the word and we sat there in a circle and we said a prayer, and I had ran into Roy, a person that works with you, and was asking if I could get a jump, not knowing what it would be underneath the hood. Long story short, you came along and you helped me out with the battery, gave me a little bit of work, and I greatly appreciate it.
So you're welcome. I'm glad I could be here to help. So right now we're talking about getting the rotors and the brakes fixed here. You have a little money on a paycheck coming in.
Yes, today we get a paycheck. Me and my girlfriend do get a paycheck from working for the flyer company, the advertisement company that we were working for, that originally paid us so we could buy this car. And in this case, we end up quit working for the guy because his attitude towards us, because we were homeless, he refers to us as tree sleepers. He's disrespectful and unprofessional, and it's ill manners. And just because I'm homeless, I'm still a man, and I have dignity, and I don't have to work for someone that doesn't respect my. I have the right work ethic.
So this is your last paycheck from that particular
it's only
employer.
A one-day paycheck between me and my girlfriend both. It's roughly $45 a piece. We've asked a couple of friends of ours to reach out and to loan us $5 so that we can keep our gas in the vehicle, so we can move spot to spot. We don't lose the vehicle. It is, Denver Rescue Mission does offer quite a bit of services, but no spaces to the people who may need it. So I'm stuck with 2 hours here, and
You talk about parking space.
Parking space.
Right.
Being homeless, we all have our choices, and we all fall short in one way or another. We're all here because we all have our issues. But when you're in the upcome and you're trying to come off the ground and you're scraping yourself up and you finally got yourself on your feet, it's kind of you're wondering where you go next, like what's next, because there's so many things you've got to catch up to.
Yes.
But
So we researched. We called AutoZone, and the rotors and brake pads for the front of the vehicle here. Your 2000 Alero, which the Lord blessed you with. I mean, what'd you pay for the vehicle?
$300.
But God really blessed you. but
Tires were bald. Me and my girlfriend received a 700, and we worked hard our first week on the job. We put out as many fires as we could. We made $730 on a combined check of us both together. It was 300 and something. There's a difference, cut in half. But we bought the car. We bought the tires, 2 new tires. We put all the fluids into the front. A lot of this thing a lot of touch and care that this thing needed. and we took care of that immediately. And right now there's just a little more to go, and
Right.
it's about 40%. But with just a couple of minor help, fixings, it'd be back to a good running car again. So that way I have something to go, to look, get me to and from work, keep me dry, and keep me cool and dry.
There you go. There you go. Well, I for one am interested in helping you, and I congratulate you and your wife for getting out there and doing it. I mean, you're homeless. You're out on the streets, but you decided to find some kind of shelter for yourself, and you have a beautiful vehicle now. And we just need to band together and try to help you, I believe, to get this car running at its best. I mean, I called AutoZone and they're telling me that for the rotors and the front brake pads, we're looking at a total of about $131 with tax, which is fairly cheap. And what we're doing is we're trying to get a plea out to my brothers and sisters, and we definitely want to help Eric, and what's your wife's name?
Amy.
And Amy. Great people, hard workers. They just need a hand up, and I believe we need to step up.
A hand up, not a handout.
A hand up, exactly, and we need to step up to the plate and help meet this need.
As a homeless person, it's been very difficult. We all have our, like I said, issues, but some of us are starting to rebound. Some people come around at their own time, and you'll never see me on a corner asking you for money with a vet sign or putting false lies on a piece of cardboard asking for money. I would rather earn it or find a miracle and somehow get blessed.
And on that note, you are a hard worker, and you'll accept work. I mean, if somebody offers you
I would accept
honest day's work,
honest day's work.
And I know you went and you worked on a landscape project, and you and your wife and Roy did an awesome job, and the people were happy with your work. So I guess, well, we're gonna do our best to raise the money to get these rotors taken care of and the brakes, and then you also have a windshield that's cracked, and you could be in danger of being pulled over by the police. But let's see what my brothers and sisters can do to help, and friends. And this is Jake Robles along here with Eric and Amy, wonderful couple that we met a couple days ago, and we're gonna go ahead and make it happen in the name of Jesus, huh? Thank you.